Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. My name is Lucas, and yeah, there's Grok, there's ChatGPT, there's Perplexity, there's this new AI mode in Google, there's Claude, there's other types of LLMs out there that you can basically search different types of topics. You have different types of questions, right? And a lot of people consider this the future of search in general. So you can search for the same question. So what's the best AI headshot generator tool? And you can basically search this same question with these four different LLMs, right? With Grok, with ChatGPT, with Perplexity, and with this Google AI mode. And you're gonna get some patterns, right? You're gonna see that each one of these tools basically had some type of thinking and research and comparing process, right? In Grok, you can clearly see that, and you can actually go through these different processes and see what they've actually been analyzing. For ChatGPT, it's not so transparent as Grok is, but you can see kind of these different links that they're providing, and you can kind of see some use cases from their top result. For example, from Perplexity, they also show these different sources that they have with Google AI mode the same. But yeah, it's basically all the same. You basically submit a question that you want to search for, and you get different results based on a bunch of content that these LLMs search for. And before, you would have to search in Google with these keywords. So instead, removing the what's and the question mark, best AI headshot generator tool. You get some type of summary from Google AI mode. Let's just skip that, but you get different sponsored you know results from these competitors. You get some social things from Reddit, and then you start getting the actual companies like I think this one, Aragon, was one of them. Canvas is also one of them. Headshot Pro, and you get some blogs in between. So it's more of a like search for keywords, and in the LLMs, it's more of a conversation, right? You start the conversation like this, and then you have different follow up points. And this is kind of what a lot of people consider to be the future of search, right? So basically, not only do you have to rank for a question that the user might ask, and there are so many different possible questions that they might ask, but you also have to kind of think about the different conversational, future conversation points that they might ask, like, can you provide me with some use cases of the specific tool that you ranked first? Or can you compare these tool number one and tool number two? So you can already start seeing here that the whole key is to just create a bunch of content based on these potential different questions that might come afterwards. And ranking for LLMs is not for everyone. It's more for like these off-site businesses like SaaS companies and whatnot. But if you're a local business like an electrician, I think that the way to go is still something like Google Maps. I'm in my house in South Florida. I look for an electrician, and I want to find someone that's near me, and I want to see their reviews pretty quickly, right? So it's not for everyone, but it's more for these type of software companies, um, or yeah, mostly type of software companies, offsite companies that provide services or provide some type of product that provides a service, and you want to basically rank your service or your product with these different chats. So I think the first important thing to kind of keep in mind is here is to choose what you want to be recommended for, not ranked for like in Google. So you don't want to choose like a specific keyword. You want to choose what you want to be recommended for. And the reason why is because a lot of people are going to have different types of questions. So you want to kind of niche down on these questions, right? Someone might ask, what is the biggest AI image generation brand out there? Like, which one is the biggest one, or which one has the most followers on Instagram? I don't know, something like that. Whereas if you just rank for the best one, that can be a very, vague term, and the LLM might, misrepresent that, might think that, best means different things. And if someone is really targeting a specific, question, a really, really specific question, like with which one has the most followers on Instagram, if you rank for the best one, if you create content to be the best one, you won't really show on that list. So it's all about keywords, right? You get your big list of keywords, you create specific prompts, like basically conversation starters that someone would have with an AI tool about a specific keywords and then create different follow-up responses based on that keyword. So let's say like the keyword would be, big brand AI generation tool, or like the biggest AI generation tool, something like that. And then the prompt would be, what is the biggest AI generation tool, or why, or what makes a big AI generation tool, right? And then the follow-ups would be other types of hows, whys, what's in regards to this specific, prompt based on this keyword. So for example, AI generation tool for corporate headshots. That might be like a legit keyword that people are searching for, right? You can use Ahrefs to kind of search that out. And what is the best AI generation tool for corporate headshots? That might be something that they're looking for, right? Instead of searching for this keyword on Google, someone might be searching this on an LLM, and then basically they're going to have different follow-up questions. This can be one, right? Why is this company the best AI generation tool? Or like, how are they the best generation tool? What are they doing to be the best? What types of use cases do they have? So you have to come up with these different follow-up questions. There's a bunch of them out there, but that's basically the strategy for this first point, right? Choose what you want to be recommended for. Now, the second point is have your brand mentioned in as many places as you can. So let's go back to these different chats, right? You can see that each one of these chats, if we find different patterns, right? Each one of these chats have these sources over here, right? They all have sources, right? Up here in Perplexity is over here. We even have a specific tab for that. In Google AI mode, we have these different sources, 11 sites. So, and you can kind of see there's like these different patterns, right? You can see Reddit over here, 1 and number 4. You can see these are like different websites from the different competitors. So this is Headshot Pro, one of these companies. This is Aragon, another one of these companies. So, and we also have different, places, external platforms that talk about these tools, right? We even have Rolling Stone. We even have YouTube videos. So basically, you can kind of see the pattern here. You want to basically have your brand in as many places as possible. You want to have them on YouTube, right? You want to have a specific playlist on YouTube from your own brand. You want to have something on Reddit, right? Different, like a Reddit subreddit where different people are talking about your brand. You want to have, Quora. You want to have different blog posts from other companies, right? Related to your brand's niche. Now, obviously, you want to talk about all of these different keywords in these different places so that you rank, because basically what LLM is doing is it's getting all of these different sources and it's kind of like digesting all of these sources and trying to give the user the best output, right? Which is the answer to their question, right? So having all of your brand in all of these different places with as much information as possible, with the most traffic going into these different posts, is going to give the LLM a high trust for your brand in the specific question that the person is asking. And yeah, it's basically, that's kind of like the logic behind it. So basically LLMs, they get what they find. So basically these LLMs, all they do is just look for information and they show the most relevant information to the user, right? So if you have more information than your competitor, as you can see here, you have more chances of, ranking higher for a specific question, if that makes sense. And I mean, it's fairly simple, right? You want to have a homepage, right? A homepage that kind of explains, in different sections what you do, what you've done, why you do it, what you provide, your different use cases and all that. The homepage also has to have a very clear message, right? You don't want it to be very complicated. You want to have a very clear message as to what you do. Number 2, feature pages, right? You have a homepage, and usually, let me actually go back. You have a homepage and you have a nav bar with different features, right? And basically it's like you have, for example, features, and you can put like, you have a background remover, ability to change the shirts, right? If we're talking about this AI headshot generator. So you have these different features, and you want to kind of have different feature pages about these different features, right? Right, you have this one, this one. You want to have these different feature pages. Also, as number 3, it's important to have use cases, right? Use case 1, 2, and 3, right? And also, again, you want to have you want to have pages. And also in regards to this, not only, text content, you want to have visual content, you want to have videos, right? It would be very helpful, as much content as you can provide as possible. And obviously this does take time, but it's a long-term game. And number 4, you want to have obviously like a blog posts, right? You want to have stuff that's informative. You want to have stuff that's comparative, right? Comparing you to different things. You want to have different alternatives, and right, you want to have like all of these different keywords with these different potential questions. This is a great place to kind of highlight all of that. Number 5, again, active social media. So not just, for example, like in stuff like LinkedIn or Twitter, but also you want to do things like YouTube, right? YouTube is a great place to, drive traffic, right? You want to have YouTube, you want to have like non-branded social media, like Reddit, for example, or like Quora, right? There's a lot of, if we go back to these different chats, you can see that a lot of these sources come from Reddit, right? That's just a quick example. And number 6, backlinks, right? Backlinks, you want to have backlinks from different other types of posts out there from high authority domains, right? And this kind of gives the LLM the trust for your brand, right? And if you want to learn more about backlinks, I actually have a really good video diving deep into that. But yeah, those are like the kind of the 6 pillars of this. We went through the future of searching online. Now that we have LLMs, we have new ones popping out. We have them getting better and better by the week. Comparing that to from offline businesses to online businesses, properly creating content out of that. And basically what you can do is at the end, this seems like a lot of work, but you can use tools out there that really help you, and you should definitely leverage AI to do this. So for example, with something like Arvow, you can generate SEO articles based on keywords, right? So going back to our little drawing over here, we have all these different keywords that we can, think of, and basically we can create a bunch of content in our blog, right? We can create a massive informational hub with all of these different keywords and potential questions that people can be asking with this. So you can just dump in a bunch of keywords, and basically what this tool does is that it creates a bunch of articles for you, and you can basically automatically post it into your website. You can also do like a time posting if you wanted to do that as well. You can do AI news articles. You can do, if you have specific Amazon products, you can generate content on that. So if someone, for example, is looking for a specific Amazon product, you can rank high for that by creating different blog posts based on your product. And again, YouTube to blog posts, right? You can, if we go back to our drawing, creating stuff in YouTube is very important, right? But not just having the video, but actually converting that into blog posts, right? So working hand on hand over here so that you can recycle your content. And so basically what you can do is like you can put in a specific keyword like how long does wet dog food last, or when does wet dog food expire? And basically what this AI tool does is it generates a title for you. It generates a whole bunch of content with external links, right? With images, with videos. You can add videos and images if you wanted to, videos from your own YouTube profile or from other YouTube channels, images from your own website or AI generated images, and it kind of explains, gives out a bunch of context using your keywords and other keywords that relate to the specific keyword. And like I said before, like the main thing over here, like the main thing to kind of highlight is that you want to create much more content than your competitor, your puny little competitor, right? So this is like the best tool to actually pump out as much content with these different types of keywords that you can collect, with these different types of question combinations that you can think of. and basically publish them automatically to your website. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it from, that's my perspective of ranking for ranking high on these different chat LLMs, right? Whether it be Grok, whether it be ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google AI Mode, Claude, whatever it is. There's a bunch of them. But basically, the logic behind it is creating as much content, not being vague, and just outperforming your competitor and creating different types of content in different areas, right? So yeah, guys, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, please feel free to write them below. I'd be more than happy to kind of talk to you guys and meet you guys. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.